So hello everyone, this is the first lecture that is of the speaking. We are in the roles, fine, reading, writing, learning, speaking club from Orators Oasis by SoloBird Academy. I am Hassan Sohail, your coach for today. Alright, so this is the first class, and in this class we'll be going to discuss some of the points on speaking. Fine, speaking. How to speak, why to speak efficiently, what is the different types of speaking parts. Alright, so let's get started. How words impact basically. So first of all, we'll be going to understand how words impact. What is the importance of words? For example, if you are saying to someone, let's suppose, keep this pen on the table. Okay, you're saying keep this pen on the table. If you will add please, this sentence will get converted into pleading sentence. For example, you are requesting someone, please keep this pen on the table. So adding one word will just change the whole idea, the whole impact of the sentence. First, like you are person A, you are saying the sentence to person B. Fine, you are saying the sentence to person B. So while saying the sentence to person B, without adding please, if you will say that, the person will understand that he is ordering me basically. So to avoid that confusion or to avoid that idea, we can add please, or person A added please to the sentence. So it changed the whole idea of sentence, and as if that person A is requesting. Fine. So this is how words impact. How words impact in speaking. You might have heard about voice modulation. Fine. Voice modulation, we'll come to that topic very soon, but not, I suppose, in this module. We'll be covering that in the next speaking part. So for now, just remove this voice modulation, keep the word modulation. Fine. Using different words. If your vocabulary is vast, if your vocabulary is vast, you can use, of course, many words. And if you are using many words for a particular sentence, for example, let us take an example. Let me erase this. Fine. Let's take an example that very, the word very, you are looking very good, not very but very, you are looking very good. Fine, very good. So while saying very good, you can use so good, you're looking so good. With that word, you are using voice modulation. You are looking very good, you are looking so good, you are looking too good. If we are saying too good, it can also mean that you are looking too good to be that person. For example, if the person name is Ramesh, you are looking too good to be Ramesh. Fine, it means that Ramesh, you are Ramesh, we know that, but you are, if you were Ramesh, you will be looking less nice as compared to today. You are looking nicer than Ramesh. So you are Ramesh, we all know that, but it's, a little joke we can crack. You are looking too good, we say, like, too good to be true. This story is too good to be true. If a person is quite honest, if a person is very honest in that story, so we can say that real life में तो बहुत कम होता है, but still it's like too good to be true. Fine, you can use quite. You are not QUIET but QUIT. We'll cover this misspelled words in the writing section. Quite, QUIT. Quite means very, so means very, to means very. Fine. So these are the different words which you can use. Fine. All right. We now understood this part, how words impact. So using good words basically will impact your speech. Using good words will impact the idea of your speech. The idea should be impact, should get an impact. Like the idea should be very respectful. If you want it to be, you can use good words, for example, please, respectful. It should be very polite, very respectful. These kinds of words will impact your speech directly. How words impact, you can add your speech. Slides you will be getting in the link, I suppose, in the comments. Fine. How words impact your speech. Speech means the part which you speak. For example, if I'm talking to you, if you were a person one to one, we would have talked. So we'll be talking like, we would have been talking like this. So this is my speech, not that standing near the podium and speaking on the mic. Speaking in the mic is also a speech, but speech, whatever you speak, is the speech. All right, so you might have understood. I suppose you should get this point very clearly in your mind. Speaking versus impactful speaking, we covered that, how words impact. Now we come to that speaking versus impactful speaking. If I am not using good words, if I am not using, so it will directly affect the impact, and it will be considered just speaking, not impactful speaking. I mean, impactful speaking is like, impactful speaking consists of basically voice, voice, yeah, don't consider that it as w, voice, as well as words, voice modulation, word modulation, or word category, choosing words. Fine, you should be very choosy while using the word, while choosing the words. So speaking means without using good words, without impacting the person. How you can impact person? By using good words basically. So if I am using quite, people will I will grab the attention of people. What is he saying? He is using good words like quite instead of very. These things can grab attention, and if you'll grab attention of people, ultimately you will impact attention. Ultimately, what you will do, you will be able to impact the person. So that will be considered as impactful speaking. So my, I suppose, voice might voice may not be proper, but I'm using mic and everything, so that in the previous, like in the overview video, I know that the voice was very bad. Voice was seriously terrible. So now I tried, but let me know in the comments if my voice is better, or if I should increase the quality. Grab attention in order to make it as impactful speaking. You should, while you're speaking, you should create some impact, right? Your voice, your speech should have some weight. Your speech should have some weight, because if people will not worth, like, take your speech as some worth kind of thing, it should have some weight. So you will, if you speak, you will speak unnecessarily, or you will speak without impacting anyone, without helping anyone. Fine. So if you'll not grab attention, how will you grab attention? By using good words as well as voice modulation. The next module will be covering voice, what is voice modulation, how you can improve that. Fine. So these things, I suppose the slide is quite messy, but let's just understand for now. Public speaking, let me just change the color, if that's okay with you. Fine. Public speaking, what is public speaking? Is a branch of speech. Fine. Speech, branch of speech that deals with speaking in a huge audience, in front of a huge audience. Not huge, but just audience, in front of an audience. Fine. If 500 people are sitting in an auditorium, and you have to explain, you have to introduce yourself, or you have to, if you have to explain anything, so if you are able to, then that will be considered as you are good at public speaking. Fine. Public speaking is a skill, it's an art, and that this is of two types. In my opinion, this is not written anywhere it's of two types, and that it's not like that, but it's, in my opinion, it's of two types. I was making 500 people's that auditorium. So public speaking is of two types. First is extempore, extempore, and second is extempore. Fine. It's of basically two types. How is that divided? So extempore is when you learn something and speak without seeing. For example, if you are in a school and what you are doing is your teacher has given you as part of a piece of information and you have to learn that. For example, 10 facts, or example a speech on your school on Holi, on Diwali, or any other thing on festivals, or any other thing, that is called as an extempore, because pre means already, you have learned it already and you are just speaking the learned from your memory. You are speaking in front of, let's suppose, an assembly. You are addressing assembly of your school. You are addressing some specific people. You are addressing a school. You are addressing anyone. So that is extempore, and second is extempore. Extempore is not pre. You have not learned it, but whatever you are speaking in front of the audience, that is from your mind. Basically, you are using your mind at that time, and you are telling the ideas which you get at that time. Fine. Fine. So, speaking ideas without learning it before address, before the address. Address means speaking to. I am addressing the school. So it means that I am speaking to the school, or I am speaking to uh, like uh, like grabbing their attention, and I'm speaking to them. Fine. So that is grabbing attention. Fine. All right. So extempore and extempore, I already explained this. So how this affects? Basically, public speaking, I suppose, consists of only this part. Extempore is not considered as public speaking until unless you are in school and you are a toddler. It's not considered as public speaking, but the extempore part, when you go to, let's suppose you go to shows, you go to that kind of uh, hall or these places. So that is extempore. You have to explain about yourself. You have to explain about your idea. Fine. Explain extempore. So these things basically affect. And if you are good at public speaking, it means that you can address anyone, whether it is a single person or whether it is 500 people. You can address anyone without hesitation. How to correctly how to correctly master the art of public speaking. I'll soon introduce a course to you, or I'll host a class or a webinar or a YouTube video, whatever, but on public speaking especially. So without hesitation, if you are able to speak to people, if you are speak to a person or a group of people, then you are good at public speaking and you are considered one of the most skilled people in the media industry basically. Fine. All right, so this was about public speaking. Next we'll come on how to practice speaking. The mirror technique. It's quite famous, but it's not true. In my opinion, it does not help, but just your gestures and your hand movements. You cannot practice, basically speaking to the mirror. You cannot practice that, but you can, of course, practice the hand movements. Uh, how people are seeing, how what people are seeing. Your hand movements at different, you can say different points. If a point is of quite impact, you are trying to grab attention, so that at that point your hand movement should be that kind of. So you can practice the mirror technique. What is mirror technique? If someone don't know, if someone does not know, I will be telling him or her. Mirror technique is basically standing in front of the mirror and speaking your part. Fine, this is the mirror. You're standing before the mirror and you are speaking your part, for example, this and that, but learned or not learned, whatever, but you are speaking to the mirror basically. So that technique is quite famous among schools. Like practice in front of the mirror, that. But in my opinion, it's not like that. I did not learn anything anytime soon or anytime in my life with the help of mirror, except my hand gestures and hand movements. Fine, all right. So what you can do is you can call some of your friends or your family members and make them sit. little backwards and you can stand. Make them sit and you should stand. You should not sit. Like keep sure, like make sure that you should not sit. You should stand and they should sit. Fine, they are like sitting. So what will happen is you can address them. For example, your mother and father, your friends. You can address them and you can speak to them. Basically, you can speak your speech part or anything which you want to. Then in this case, in this way, you'll be able to practice speaking. That is public speaking. If you fumble a lot, how to remove the fumble part, how to remove the falling shortage of words part, you will understand these things in the extra classes as well as the classes of speaking when we'll explore more. Fine. So this technique I wanted to explain. All right. सो लैंग्वेज बैरियर्स, हिंदी और इंग्लिश, हिंदी में बात करूँ इंग्लिश में बात करूँ, ठीक है ना, ये बहुत दिक्कत करती है लोगों को। और इसकी मतलब ये कैसे निकल सकती है दिक्कत, ये देखो यार, जिसमें तुम कंफर्टेबल हो लोग कहते हैं कि उस पर तुम बात करो, बिल्कुल सही बात है, मैं भी एग्री करता हूँ, लेकिन तुम्हें एक दूसरी लैंग्वेज जो ऐसी इंटरनेशनल लैंग्वेज है कभी कम से कम सीखना चाहिए, ताकि तुम कहीं भी बाहर जाओ या कहीं पर भी जाओ तुम, बेसिकली तुम्हें कम एक तरीके से कन्वर्स कम्युनिकेट कर पाओ अपनी बात को, ठीक है ना। तो वो कैसे करोगे, अच्छी इंग्लिश करके। अब टूटी फूटी इंग्लिश बोलोगे तो वो समझेगा भाई तू बाहर का ही है, ठीक है ना, तू बहुत घटक है, तू टूरिस्ट है। तो मेरा कहना ये रहेगा कि यार हिंदी में बात करो, मैंने इंग्लिश में बात करी है अभी, ठीक है ना, लेकिन तुम हिंदी में भी बात करो, हिंदी अपनी अच्छी करो, वर्ड्स अपने अच्छे लाओ, थोड़ा सा ना डीप वर्ड्स लाओ, थोड़े से अच्छे वर्ड्स लाओ जो आम भाषा में नहीं बोले जाते, आम तौर पे नहीं बोले जाते, अच्छे वर्ड्स लाओ, और इंग्लिश में भी सेम काम करो, ठीक है ना। लैंग्वेज बैरियर्स कोई चीज़ होती नहीं है ऐसी, खैर, लेकिन अगर तुम्हें सीखनी है इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज तो इस वाले कोर्स में तुम्हें सीख लोगे, वरना एक अलग से मैंने कोर्स बनाया था लेकिन अब नहीं है वो, ठीक है ना। वो था बेसिकली इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग कोर्स, और उसमें ग्रामर बताई गई थी, काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें बताई गई थी उसमें, लेकिन अब नहीं है वो कोर्स। तो मैं सोच रहा हूँ जल्दी इस वाले कोर्स को भी लाऊँ यूट्यूब पे, कहीं और यूट्यूब पे लाऊँगा, ठीक है ना। इंग्लिश सिखाऊँ फ्रॉम ज़ीरो टू हीरो, लेकिन वही बात कि 2 घंटे लगा दो और क्या बोलते हैं, और इंग्लिश तुम्हारी, ऐसे नहीं कहूँगा मैं, ठीक है, कोई क्लिक बेट नहीं, आराम से जैसा मेरा तरीका है उसी से सिखाऊंगा मैं। इससे अगर तुम्हें नहीं पता कैसी बात हुई थी तो पिछले वीडियो में देख लेना, ओवरव्यू वाली वीडियो, मैंने बहुत बात करी है इसके बारे में, ठीक है ना, मेरा तरीका क्या है, कैसे पढ़ाता हूँ, वो सब चीज़ें। तो ये चीज़ थी, ठीक है ना। लैंग्वेज बैरियर्स कोशिश करो जितने हो कम हो, मतलब 2 लैंग्वेज कम से कम तुम्हें आए, हिंदी आती है बहुत अच्छी बात है, इंग्लिश आती है तो इंग्लिश नहीं आ रही है तो इंग्लिश को सीखो, ठीक है। अभी जब तक मैं कोर्स नहीं निकाला हूँ तब तक तुम सीखो कहीं और से, ठीक है। यूट्यूब बहुत ज़्यादा वास्ट, उसमें कोर्सेज हैं, बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं उसमें, सीखो, बेसिक्स लो, थोड़ा बहुत स्पीकिंग सीखो, थोड़ा बहुत रीडिंग राइटिंग जो भी चीज़ें सीखो, और इस वाले कोर्स में तो आराम आराम से चीज़ें आती रहेंगी। तो ये है, ठीक है ना। नेक्स्ट इज की पॉइंट समरी, ठीक है, लास्ट स्लाइड। सबसे पहले हमने इसमें देखा कि हाउ वर्ड्स इम्पैक्ट, ठीक है, अच्छे वर्ड यूज़ करके तुम लोगों का ग्रैब कर सकते हो अटेंशन, ठीक है ना, तुम्हारा जो आइडिया हो वो अच्छे से कन्वे हो, और आइडिया के साथ साथ तुम्हारा आइडिया क्लियर भी हो, ठीक है ना। और लोगों को ग्रैब करके कैसे अटेंशन, अच्छे वर्ड यूज़ करके। स्पीकिंग वर्सेस इम्पैक्टफुल स्पीकिंग, यानी कि स्पीकिंग मतलब विदाउट यूजिंग दोज काइंड ऑफ वर्ड, विदाउट यूजिंग वॉइस मॉड्यूलेशन एज वेल एज वर्ड चूजिंग, ठीक है। वैसे इम्पैक्टफुल, तुम जो भी बोल रहे हो लोग तुम्हें बात में ध्यान से सुन रहे हैं और लोगों के अंदर एक इम्पैक्ट आ रहा है, तो वो इन सब चीज़ों से ही आएगा, ठीक है ना। बेसिकली इम्पैक्टफुल स्पीकिंग इज डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड टू ग्रैबिंग अटेंशन, जितना तुम अच्छे से ग्रैब कर पाओगे अटेंशन उतना ही तुम इम्पैक्टफुल अपनी स्पीच को बना पाओगे। पब्लिक स्पीकिंग, ठीक है ना, एक्सटेम्परी होता है, एक्सटेम्पोर होता है, एक्सटेम्पोर ही मैं मानता हूँ, एक्सटेम्परी पब्लिक स्पीकिंग होती नहीं है, ठीक है ना। पब्लिक स्पीकिंग में क्या होता है कि आप लोगों से बात करते हो, एक बड़ी ऑडियंस से आपको बड़ी ऑडियंस को एड्रेस करते हो, ठीक है ना। पब्लिक स्पीकिंग बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा खतरनाक आर्ट है, और तुम बहुत अच्छे समझे जाओगे अगर तुम्हें आएगी स्किल, ठीक है ना। हाउ टू प्रैक्टिस स्पीकिंग, मेरा भाई टेक्निक मुझे समझ में नहीं आती है, तुम कर सकते हो ट्राई, कोई बात नहीं, लेकिन फ्रेंड्स वाली और मैं फैमिली मेम्बर्स को बैठा करके उनको सिखाना, उनको सुनाना, वो बहुत अच्छी टेक्निक लगती है मुझे भी, मैंने बहुत प्रैक्टिस करी है उससे शुरू में। उसको तुम देखो, उसको तुम ट्राई करो, और तुम सीखोगे, बहुत कुछ सीखोगे तुम उससे, ठीक है ना। ये टेक्निक के बारे में बताया मैंने। उसका लैंग्वेज बैरियर्स, भाई बहुत लैंग्वेज बैरियर्स मिनिमम करो। ऐसे वो मिनिमम कैसे करोगे, लैंग्वेज सीख के, बस 2 लैंग्वेज सीखो, हिंदी इंग्लिश, बाकी कोई फॉरेन लैंग्वेज सीखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। अगर तुम बेसिक चाहते हो कि भाई मैं फॉरेन कंट्री में जाऊँ और मैं अनजान ना बनूँ, तो सीख लो यार, अच्छे वर्ड यूज़ करो, अच्छे वर्ड्स, और हर जगह से वोकैबलरी सीखो, ठीक है ना, पढ़ करके हर जगह से सीखो वोकैबलरी। तुम सीरीज़ देखते हो, ठीक है ना, वेब सीरीज़, तुम मूवीज़, तुम नॉवेल्स अगर पढ़ते हो तो ठीक है, नहीं पढ़ते कोई बात नहीं, वेब सीरीज़ भी काफ़ी हैं, तो उसके कैप्शंस से देखो वर्ड्स, या फिर उनकी इंग्लिश यही सुनो और फिर देखो इंग्लिश सीखो उससे, और वोकेबलरी बेसिकली अपनी इंक्रीज़ करो, ठीक है ना। थोड़ी इंग्लिश आती है, इंग्लिश को अच्छा करो, इंग्लिश अच्छी आती है तो वोकेबलरी अच्छी करो। बाकी कुछ नहीं है, ये की पॉइंट्स वाली समरी मैंने तुम्हें ऑडियो के फॉर्म में बता दी, ठीक है ना। ऑडियो इज़ इनफ। ऑलराइट, सो थैंक यू स्लाइड, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर बीइंग इन दिस वीडियो टिल द लास्ट। और ये आपकी ज़रूर हेल्प करेगी, मतलब मैंने बट जो भी चीज़ें बताई हैं यार, उसको देखो, समझो, सीखो, सुनो, बढ़िया मज़ा आएगा तुम्हें, ठीक है ना। बाकी और वीडियोस अभी आएंगे, पहली वीडियो पे जो शुरुआत है जस्ट, बाकी बहुत सारी वीडियोस आएंगी इन द फ्यूचर। थैंक यू सो मच, बाय बाय।